So I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was 12. And I have been training since then. It took me about 10 years to get my black belt. One thing that I find interesting in Jiu-Jitsu, and I always like to mention this, is that a lot of people, they give up in the very beginning when they don't succeed on tournaments, when they have some hard time to get the techniques, and they don't think they're improving as fast as they would like. And one thing that was interesting about my life in Jiu-Jitsu, in the sport, was that it took me a lot of years to start to win in tournaments. I always enjoyed competing, but it took me up to the purple belt level to start to win a tournament. And actually all my major titles just came after I was a black belt. And I think that's pretty much a hope for everybody, for every Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, because the majority are the people, we just heard about the people who are amazing and win all the time, but the majority of people who do Jiu-Jitsu are the ones who always lose on tournament, or they lose more than they win. And the fact that there is somebody who managed to become good after he was already training for over 10 years, which is my case, I think it's a hope for everybody. So as I was saying, I started when I was 12. It took me 10 years to get the black belt. I got in 2002, and I have been competing since then, and I have been keeping myself on top 3 place on all major tournaments, and I think that's a niche that's pretty cool. I'm already in the master division, but I still compete in an adult, and I already see myself stopping competing in the adult, so I'm kind of looking this tournament as maybe one of my last few tournaments as adults, and I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I have been getting medals since 2003 when I got my first world title. I have got to the podium in all world tournaments, but this year I want to get the gold again, hopefully. It was always, yeah, when I get to 30 I'm gonna stop, you know, because that's what people, the generation who came before me, that's what they used to do. But then I turn into 30 and I still feel good, I still feel competitive, so I think I'm not gonna be stopping so soon, you know. I think as long as I can keep myself motivated, as long as I'm having fun in the tournaments, I'm gonna still coming. So I don't see why people have to stop at 30. You know, I think they can keep going. All my training is being pretty much in Brazil, in my hometown in Rio de Janeiro. My team is called BRASA TEAM. Over there I'm doing a physical training with Ítalo Vilardo. It's one of the top guys for grappling, for combat sports in the physical aspect. And I'm also training, since my teacher completely moved to Chicago and he's living now in Chicago, I have been training with my other teammates over there. And training is going good, you know. I think the motivation, it's, you gotta like competing, you know. Because I've seen people who are very good and they almost force themselves to compete, and it gets in a point that they cannot stand anymore. It's not my case. I always had fun. Even when I was losing, I was having fun. You know, I love the butterfly the week before the tournament. I like to be in the area with the other guys, you know. I think the motivation comes from this, you know. You gotta have passion for the tournament, for the Jiu-Jitsu itself, and then that's the motivation, you know. I think I only lose this if I have an injury, if I have something that stops me from preparing myself. Well, as I live in Rio, like I was saying, it's kind of similar to San Diego here. I like to go to the beach a lot, you know. To hang out with my dog. I like to go to places like there is like nature wide, you know. You can go to waterfalls in Rio. You can pretty much live this lifestyle over there. That's the kind of thing I do. At home, I like to read a lot. That's something on my quiet time. That's what I like to do. So I pretty much live like most of Jiu-Jitsu guys, you know, like try to have a healthy life, you know, with the nature and everything. So I think for Jiu-Jitsu you gotta have a balance, you know. I see a lot of people say, yeah, I train 5 times a day, I train, you know. When I hear this kind of thing, for me it's amazing. I never train 5 times a day, you know. I think something is wrong, you know. You gotta find a balance where you're gonna rest, where you're gonna eat right, you know. So my advice is, if you want to become good, the way is not to overdo anything, you know. So you have to have a balance where you're gonna be able to improve your technique, train a little bit, also take care of the physical part, but you also need to rest, you know. People forget that the rest, that's where you recover your injury, that's where you manage to keep the technique in your head and to think and all this. So my advice is to find the balance in everything you do, especially Jiu-Jitsu. If people get a chance to visit my website, FELIPECOSTA.com, I always post techniques, news. They're gonna find about my camp in Brazil. So you're welcome to visit if you want. We hold a camp usually 2 times a year. It lasts 10 days. I take care of everything, you know. You just have to arrive in the airport. I'm gonna pick you up over there, take you to the house where we stay. 10 days training, like 3 times a day. We all stay in the same house. I'm not gonna drop you in a hotel, so you don't know what you do, you know. I'm gonna be 10 days with you the whole time. By the end of the 10 days, you're gonna go home and not talk to me for a while because we're gonna be too long together. But I'll make sure you have fun while you're in Brazil. Well, thanks for coming. It was a pleasure having you guys here.
Always good to see you, Jimmy.
Yeah. Thank you very much.